folks, welcome back to Rottumer Island, and time to tackle the second or last, both grass field. Going to be making this into silage. I would say grass silage, but base game FS, it all turns into silage. So yeah, I guess the good news is we have precision farming coming, so we are progressing towards simulation. Now, I know not everyone thinks that precision farming makes the game more realistic, because in the real world, not everyone farms with precision farming. And I'm not saying it makes it better, but for me, it makes the game more fun. So I'm really looking forward to precision farming coming back. I really like that they have gone beyond and not just ported the previous version of precision farming. They have added some new features. They have, it would appear, expanded some new features and called them some previous features and called them new features. The pulse width modulation, to me, looks like they've taken the non-homogeneous slurry feature and expanded it to liquid fertilization. What it looks like to me, I could be wrong, but it's what it looks like. If I prove to be wrong, I'm happy to be proved to be wrong. But that's what it looks like, you know. If you don't have that feature enabled, you get slightly non-perfect fertilization, and then you pay to add something and it makes it perfect. Which is kind of what the non-homogeneous slurry feature did. So it's cool, but branding it as a new feature is maybe pushing it a little bit. But tram lines coming to the game, cool, assuming that they work well. Really good that those are coming to console. So yeah, looking forward to seeing how it works out. Slightly frustrating that it's coming out on the 8th of May for two reasons. Always two parts to things. The first one, that's the same day as update 7 drops for Timberborn. Also a day that I have to go to some work stuff, which means I'm not going to be able to focus on either of big things happening in the two games that I play, and one of those games gets a lot more views than the other. So yeah, it might be a day. It's certainly going to not be. I'm saying not going to be putting out content on the 8th of May for precision farming. Probably on the 9th, I would guess. That would be my guess. I'm assuming a lot of my existing content will still be valid, because a lot of the stuff is going to be the same as FS22, and in some cases FS19. I mean, a lot of the day one videos that I did for FS22 were based on things we knew in FS19, and it was a case of quick check that it's still the same and churn the handle to recycle things. So yeah, I might take a bit more time and put something together that's a bit more definitive. I don't know. We'll see. I was a little bit jaded in how the announcement video did. But yeah, I think it reflects in general how FS content is doing for me lately. So we'll see. I am looking forward to playing with precision farming. So I'm sure I will do some tutorial content on it, but more than anything, I'm looking forward to getting my hands on it and playing with it. So, yeah. Anywho, I have been playing another, I'm going to describe it as a horticulture and distribution and entrepreneurial game, because I like monetization on my videos. It's a game called Schedule 1. if you're not sure what that is, you could look it up on Steam, or you could have a look on YouTube, or you could wait for a little while, because I might be doing some videos on it anyway, because I'm having a lot of fun playing it. Yeah. You grow plants for adult entertainment and relaxation, shall we say. And you then sell those to people who would like to partake in adult entertainment and relaxation. And you develop a network of associates to help you partake in the distribution of those, whilst trying to stay one step ahead of the people that would like to stop you distributing those products. Let's go with that as a description. It's a heck of a lot of fun. It's a really it's a game that's been developed by one person. It's a single person software studio, and I'm using studio in inverted commas. It's in beta release on Steam, and I think it's basically it's made the guy like a millionaire. I'm going in inverted commas overnight, because it's been a massive success, and I can understand why, having played it. I bought it on Thursday, I want to say, and it has consumed a heck of a lot of my free time since I purchased it. Yeah, it's meant that I haven't got back to my off-camera ATS save. I had to stop myself playing it so I could record this, because otherwise this video wasn't going to happen. It's been predominantly what I'm watching on YouTube, partly for like tricks and tips and stuff. Yeah, because some of the content is not my cup of tea, shall we say. But yeah, it's a fun game. The graphics are really simple and basic, and it's just fun. It's just fun. And essentially it comes down to a time management and distribution game. And it's good fun. It's really good fun. So, yes, possibly video coming on that next week. I know who is this person who's playing different games. Technically, it's in the simulation class on Steam, so it counts. And that's what I'm sticking with. And if I enjoy it, I can make videos on it, and that's kind of my view. And hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And if you don't, then I won't make many videos on it. But I figure it's a bit of fun, and yeah. If not, I'll just play it for myself, and I'll keep having fun. It's kind of amusing, the timing of its release, because I've been rewatching Breaking Bad, which is one of my safe TV shows, and it's not sure which number of times I've on my complete rewatch of it, but yeah, it's one of those shows I can put on and I find it it's predictable for me because I've seen it before, and that means it's quite soothing, and I need that at the moment because life is quite chaotic. So yeah. So we're doing the windrowing now, and I'm trying to combine the swaths again into less swaths, so we're changing direction each row. And you'll see later on I do push that a little bit to the extreme and combine several swaths into one swath, just to save a bit of work with the loading wagon. Basically, I was feeling a bit lazy. You end up doing more work with the swather to do less work with the loading wagon, so you're not really saving time. And it's really just so that I can use a different bit of kit. because I'm so guilty so often of using the same things all the time that I wanted to use a bit of kit that was a little bit different. So yeah, I am hoping that I will be able to record this in one chunk. So if you are one of those viewers that watches everything, you will have heard me say in Saturday's Timberborn video that one of the dogs was not well while I was trying to record that. It is currently Saturday, and it was a pretty rough night with him. He had to have it's well, they're both older dogs now, but one of them's had a problem with being old man problems and incontinence and urine infections, and he had to have some tests done which involved a catheter. Yeah, made me retract that bit as well, because a catheter for a canine, I've never had to have one. Catheter for a canine is quite long, because they basically, sorry if this is making you all cringe, they had to get a urine sample from inside his bladder, so that it was sterile, essentially. And a side effect of that has been, or was, that the day after, basically, he was peeing every 20 to 30 minutes and sometimes not able to control it. That gives you an idea of what I was dealing with on Friday evening, Friday night through the night. So didn't get much sleep last night. Today he seems to be better, but we'll see. It seems to have calmed down a lot, but not a guarantee. It happened. It's the second time he's had to have it done, because this has been an ongoing problem, and it happened. So it's like a day and a bit after, or 24 hours after, and it happened the first time as well. So yeah, but we'll see. I'm off. Gonna run and grab some silage additive now, and at the same time, we have an older relative who's not well. So yeah, things are a bit chaotic at the moment, which is not awesome. But life goes on, you know. So yeah, anyway, we're going to get this silage picked up, and then one of the things that I'm going to do once we've got all of the, so once the silage has fermented, we will then know how much feed we can make. I guess we're going to get one more cut, so I might wait until we've got the second cut done, and then see how much silage and hay we've got. Use that to basically account for maybe about 6 months worth of feeding. I'll maybe try and work out when I think we're going to get a cut of grass again. Go look at my dairy cow video and work out how many dairy cows we can support, and then buy our cows. And because it's base game, they'll pretty much instantly start producing milk, so we can start making some money, which will be good. So yeah, I mean, the thing is with contracts now, we can't do what you could do. I need to look at that Matrix mod, but in theory, we can't do what you used to be able to do and do grass working contracts to get bales. So yeah, we need to produce all our own food. Probably the next sensible purchase might be, given grass has been fixed. Now I'm not sure. There's probably a test there now, as to whether, I'm thinking we might need another field for either more grass or some corn silage. And I'm not sure, and one of you might know, but now we can't cut grass every 2 months, whether corn or grass gives the most silage in a year. Now, the risk with that kind of video is you're going to get all the people crawling out of the woodwork saying that, oh, if you roll the grass, it'll grow quicker. Frickin' doesn't. It doesn't. All these people that don't understand growth states. But I think actually the Giants might have got rid of that thing where it was harvested and growing and they were both exactly the same state. I'm not sure, but yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to annoy myself with that one. I might just look at the data and decide myself. And honestly, that's one of the reasons I've done less tutorials in the last game release. I just cannot be bothered with dealing with the comments that come with them, and the dumbness, and then having to show people that they're wrong. Because it happens all of the time, and all the people that, well, if you did it this way, then I think you'll find, and it's like, well, why don't you go make a freaking video that shows your way of doing it that's better? Because this is the way I thought that worked. Yeah, God, can you tell I've not had much sleep? Because I'm feeling a little bit grumpy today. But yeah, I mean, that's partly why I've done less tutorials, because I just got fed up of all of the expert comments. Because the problem with content like that is those videos last for the entire life of the game. So you could be sat, chilling, watching TV, and some dumbass a year later, well, actually, I think you'll find in version 1.9 they changed it and it's now. I was like, yeah, but I made it with fucking version 1.7 and so it was correct then. Well, why didn't you change it? Well, because you can't go back and change everything. Yeah. Oh. Anyway, first load of chaff going in the clamp. What I should have done here is started tipping this much further in to the clamp, because we get a bit of overspill once I start compacting it. So yeah, rookie mistake on my part. I don't normally use the drive-through clamps. I'm normally much more of a fan of the enclosed clamps, but I think the drive-through ones are much more of a thing on the mainland. I'm just thinking, the two maps that I've played recently that are on the mainland, I just think I'm playing Bergeisland as well, which is a mainland map, and that doesn't have drive-through ones. But this one, and when I played on Pelegni, that had a mixture actually. So maybe I'm talking out on my backside. But certainly seems to be more of a thing than the UK maps that I've played. And that's not a bad thing. Variety's definitely bad. What am I saying? Anywho, let's get this last swath picked up. So we're only going to get 1 and a bit loads of silage. So we've got plenty of spare silage additive. And there's still most of a pallet back at the store, which we'll need to go grab at some point. I'm kind of tempted to trade in the Skoda for a side-by-side or UTV or whatever you want to call it of some sort. Something with a little load bed on the back so that we can go pick up things like that. Maybe we will get a forklift up at the store, or get the store to have a forklift so that we can load stuff up. And I'm just going to do a few laps through the bunker to compact it a bit, just because it's easier using a loaded trailer or forage wagon like this, and the tractor weight to compact it just does that nice and easily and automatic. Well, not automatically, but you know what I mean. Saves us having to get any extra kit, although we are going to need to because we get some spillage. But it's something that we're going to need to buy anyway, so that should be absolutely fine. So it is now the next day because someone had an ID10T error or a technical issue, and somehow I thought I was recording the second half of this commentary after having to take a little break, and it recorded for 3 seconds and stopped. I don't know why. It's very annoying, but here we are. So it's now Sunday, which means this video is coming out a day late. But hey, it is what it is, isn't it? The second half of this commentary that I recorded on Saturday was rather ranty. I was in quite a bad mood yesterday. I was tired. I don't remember how much I said in the first half of the commentary I recorded yesterday. One of the dogs is still a bit unwell as a result of some tests that he had to have, and I'm not getting a lot of sleep, and during the day it's quite stressful dealing with the side effects of it. So yeah, anywho, silage compacted, dealt with, apart from the fact that we have a lot of overspill. So I'm going to grab a bucket and tidy that up and we'll get it sorted. One of the things I had a bit of a rant about, and I'll share one of the things. I can't remember all of them, to be honest. But one of the things I did rant about a little bit, and it's a reoccurring theme actually, and it was based on a comment made on a post I saw on Facebook about why are they, I assume they means Giants, releasing the wrong mods. Why are they not releasing the mods everyone wants? And they then went on to clarify that everyone wants 18-wheelers. I assume they mean trucks, lorries. Now, I'm part of everyone, and I don't want 18-wheelers in Farming Simulator. Don't think we need them. But anyway, I was halfway through writing a reply to this comment, and I decided to delete it because engaging with people on social media generally results in a bad response, because a lot of the time these people are too dumb to understand the subtleties of things like modders make the mods they choose to make and enjoy making, and it's not down to Giants what mods are released. It's down to the mods that are made and submitted for testing, rather than Giants deciding which mods are made. So yeah, it amazes me that there are still people that play Farming Simulator that seem to appear to think that Giants are in charge of the mods that are released in the game, and that it's not down to the modders that make them that results in the selection of mods that we get. And you see it almost on every Facebook post of the pages that share these are today's mods, and every post will have, these are not the mods that we want this type of mod. Well, it's like, well, these are the mods that modders chose to make, and if you don't like that, there is a solution. Because, and I'm going to use air quotes here, anyone can make mods. Now, technically you need to be capable of doing 3D modeling and the XML to support and all that kind of thing, but you know what I mean. And if you don't like the mods that are being made, well, that's kind of tough, isn't it? There was a lot of swearing in the second half of yesterday's video as well, so the censors maybe got to it. Who knows? Anyway, yeah. The other thing is, as we get the silo covered up with our 20 odd thousand litres of TMR, silage, I need to do an update to the mini BGA. And again, don't think I spoke about this in the first half. Someone commented in the Maze Plus Discord that they were having problems. And then they posted again that they were having different problems. And then they posted again that they were having a different problem. And then they posted that they fixed it by changing their tractor. So yeah, I think the problem might have been between the keyboard and the chair. But anywho, as a result of that, I went away and did some testing, and I checked with the new Giants slurry stuff, and that doesn't work with the mini BGA. We're just sorting out getting a bale spike so we can clear the bales away while I ramble on about this. And it turns out that there are some types of slurry kit that seem to be different to other ones, because obviously it works. I'm using it on my Zolonga Let's Play. Other people are using it. I have used it on other off-camera saves, and it works. And I tested it before I sent it to Giants, and it worked. So but yeah, it didn't work with the Giant stuff. So initially my thought was maybe the trigger's too small. So I made the trigger bigger, and that didn't work. So I then compared it to one of Giant's BGAs that I could get it to work in. So I took the slurry kit to the BGA on the base game map, and it worked. So I then compared it to that BGA. And triggers in FS25 are different to FS22, and they have a type associated with them. And the trigger type that my trigger had was different to the one that the Giants BGA had. Now, I don't remember what I used as my template, because this is different to FS22. I can't remember if I used a mod or one of Giants' other base game ones to get what I needed to set them to, because I didn't know. And it was a long time ago. But so I corrected it to what Giants use, and it works. But then I compared my other triggers to what Giants use, and they're all different, but they work. So I need to go through and do some more testing, make sure all of the triggers behave. And then I figured while I'm doing that, I may as well update the capacities like I've been talking about, so that they support the speeds a bit better. And my plan was to do that this weekend. But we've had a poorly dog this weekend. We also have a poorly older family member, which is taking up a lot of Mrs. D's time, which means I'm the one looking after the poorly dog, and that's taking a lot of my brain focus, which means I haven't had the brain capacity to sit down and do thinking and do fixing mini BGA and testing and stuff. So yeah, it's on the list of jobs to do, and I'm hoping that the testing at Giants will be quite quick, and I'll try and do it next week. Pup seems better today than he was yesterday, but equally at some points yesterday he seemed better than he was on Friday, so just kind of fingers crossed. Yeah, anyway, this morning there was a little bit of overlap where we were both at home, and Mrs. D was awake because with her health problems, she's having to put her conscious time into dealing with other stuff, where she took over looking after Pup for a bit, so I could do one of my least favourite jobs in the real world and cut grass, which is kind of ironic, seeing as for fun I cut grass in video games, but in the real world I hate it. And boy, is our grass growing a lot at the moment. Part of that is the reduction in dogs, sadly, because the two greyhounds used to destroy the grass, but it's growing a lot, and I hate cutting grass in the real world. I really do. it was one of the things I used to do as a kid for our when I was a kid. So obviously I lived at home. Well, no, maybe not obviously. You know, people, different situations, all that kind of stuff. Not judging. But when I was a kid, our one of our sets of next door neighbours were much older, but we had my parents and that neighbour both had really big gardens and large lawns, and so I used to cut their grass as well as my parents. Used to get paid for it, but they used to want it done every week, so it used to be my job. I think usually like every Saturday, also basically one day on the weekend throughout the summer growing time of grass. I would cut their grass for them. I'd get paid £5. Back then, that was a okay-ish amount of money. It would take me a few hours. I don't know if that's where my loathing of cutting the grass came from, because I didn't really want to do it, and I was kind of volunteered to do it by my parents. I didn't really want to have to go and interact with these people. Yep, that was still a problem back then. But I did it because my parents wanted me to do it, and I was at heart a good kid, even though I really hated it. So yeah, maybe that's why I don't like cutting grass now as an adult, because I had to do it as a kid a lot and I didn't like it. I say a lot, you know. My parents had, well, my parents had varying amounts of grass through my childhood, depending on whether my dad was doing stuff in the garden that ended up killing lots of the grass. Whether that was, so my dad built 2 boats through my childhood, which meant that there were various shelters covering big parts of the garden. And at one point they had a large vegetable patch in the garden as well. They've now got a small vegetable patch because they're both much older, obviously. But yeah, do not enjoy cutting grass. Guess that's the moral of the story. The straw bale was pretty much done. Originally, because I'd forgotten how many straw bales we had, I did think I would do what I did at the start and pick them all up with the bale spike and drive them across the road. But it turns out we had quite a few, so load these up on the trailer. The hay bales I will just do with the bale spike, because there's only, I think, 6 hay bales, and the hay field, grass field, is right next to the bale shed. So what I want to do is, once we've got the next cut of grass, so we need to fertilize, lime, all that kind of good stuff, but once we've got the next cut of grass, work out how many cows we can feed for probably 6 months, or when we expect to have grass again. Then we can go buy our cows, and then we'll start making money from the cows. And I think probably the next expansion, I'm thinking, again, I don't know, and I think I spoke about this probably in the first half. I did speak about this in the first half of the video about grass silage versus corn silage, so I'm not going to go over that again. It's tough redoing commentary, or redoing half of a commentary, but here's what it is. The tough life of making videos about farming video games and other video games now. So yeah, it's really weird actually playing a lot more video games. I say playing a lot more video games, actually, unsurprisingly for some of you, I tend to really focus on one new video game at a time. But yeah, I'm having a heck of a lot of fun on the latest new video game, which you're probably going to see in a day or so, because I'm thinking if I get time today, I might start recording on that. I might not get time. Depends. I need to finish recording this, record the next Timberborn video, see how Pup's doing through all of that, and then we might record a video about, or a video on, the horticulture and distribution game. So I've been watching. So I've been watching quite a lot of content on that, and one guy who makes videos on it talks about growing Brussels sprouts and specialist Brussels sprouts. That's brilliant because he's got a I don't know where he's from in Europe. I'm really bad at European accents, but he's got a really strong, some sort of European accent, but he records content in English and it just makes it really quite amusing the way he talks about Brussels sprouts. It's brilliant. I love it. But yeah, such a fun game. Very, very time consuming. But I'm having a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It's really good at the moment because it's my brain is in an interesting place lately. So yeah, but we will finish getting the bales stacked. I thankfully have managed to remove all of the swearing from this video, which means I don't need to change how I upload the video and all of the buttons I have to click on YouTube, which is good. I don't have to apologise at the end of it like I did last time for the language. Because I know occasionally, and some people used to watch these with their kids, so yeah. Do try and keep it not full of swearing. If you do watch these videos with your kids, maybe don't watch the Schedule 1 videos with your kids. Yeah. That was a motorcycle if it was picked up. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. And I will see you next time.